I was making about $40 a week, right? But I was my own boss. So those of you who are entrepreneurs know how to take pay cuts. I ended up growing that business actually to making about $2,000 a day and having about 4 to 5 people on staff. A few years later, in 2009, I was actually arrested for conspiracy to distribute heroin, along with my father and 3 cousins. So imagine, it was basically like a family reunion behind prison. While I was in prison, my life did a 180. The first day, my mother and my grandmother came to visit me. Right? It was a few months. I hadn't seen them so long. I remember coming down to the visit, being so excited. So imagine if you come down to the visit, they didn't know I was actually behind glass. Right? So imagine seeing the 2 most important people in your life crushed because of my actions, because of what I decided to do in my life. Right? So that day, I promised in that moment that I would never hurt them that way, and I would only make them proud. So I ended up doing 2.5 years in prison. I decided to change my life. I moved to New York. All I had here was my mother and my grandmother. Didn't know anyone else. Didn't know anything about New York. I got a great job, which God answered my prayer. I actually got a job as a debt collector, where I commuted 2 hours. Is that debt collector? Yeah. I was lying, man. That's a horrible job. But it was a job, right? You have to start somewhere. I truly understand that. I was actually getting paid $10 an hour to get cursed out about 1,000 times a day, but it was a start. Luckily, during that time, I was actually invited to an info session for Defy-Ventures. It just caught my attention right away. It was like looking for somebody who's looking to work really hard, start from the bottom, who's entrepreneurial, who's driven. I thought they were painting a picture of me, right? So luckily, I got into this first training, which has changed tremendously. When I was in it, we didn't have any of this. I wish I could have brought. I wish I had a sales director. I would have probably made more money than everyone. So I was in the training. I went through the whole process. I launched the company. Luckily, during that time, I was also invited to become on half-time, like part-time, right? So I was working really close with the last training, which was again totally different than this. During that time, I was offered to come on full-time to do some recruiting and really be part of Defy-Ventures, which has been a blessing not only to me but also my family, right? So before I was in prison, or before I even went to prison, I never had a suit, shirt, slacks. I never wore none of that. Now I wear shirt, slacks, and suit all the time. My grandmother sees me and my mother, and they're like, "He made it. He made it." So I'm like, "Yeah, I made it." Then, you know, it's a grind. It's still a struggle for me, and I'm pretty sure it's a struggle for everyone. But seeing you guys here, I'm so honored to know you guys. See great families. You guys all must be extremely proud. We put them through so much, and this is only the 3rd day, and I feel like I know each individual in here so closely. And I just, I wish you guys the best. Believe in the process. It's a long process to be real, but we want the best for you.
We have before they all came in as well. That's awesome. I'm so thankful that you shared that. We have a lot of mothers here. We have a lot of loved ones. Talk more from the perspective of, because you told me so much about how your mom and grandma went through this process with you. Talk about the impact that Defy has had on their lives and their community.
It's had an extreme impact on my mother, my grandmother, and my community. Even the people who I used to sell heroin with, they're so proud of me because I literally changed my life. Just as they see me always working and always speaking about Defy. So even when I'm out of work, I'm speaking about Defy. When they come to the events, you know, when they see me graduate with Defy training, they were so proud. They spoke about it to my whole family. So Defy has been not only something who has equipped me, a trainer who has equipped